Okay, here we go. Just going to put the timer on here. Greetings from Chilliwack. Joshua is coming to you from this beautiful city of Chilliwack, where it's cold and the rains are falling. And this is the second part of a talk series to introduce myself to the people here of Chilliwack. And as you know, in the slideshow presentation, that a door has opened up to take the Joe pipe technology to the next level, and this is to see if steam can be used as a primary fuel to make a to run the Joe pipe basically. And watching Sir Hoax's video a number of times, it finally occurred to me that it took the iron, the steel wool that he had, to cause the catalytic reaction to convert the superheated steam into hydrogen. And the few times that I have seen steam introduced into the Joe pipe, in particular in that one instance where I had that half-inch copper rod and I had one end pounded flat, and the other end I had it joined to a valve that I could open and close, and I had a little bit of water in there, and as you know, the Joe pipe gets intensely hot. It doesn't, when it takes a few seconds to boil some water inside the pipe. And I seen this flash, and actually seen this flash. It was like a yellow white, and the flame basically burns, produces or heats up any metal or whatever to the orange point, which is just between the red point to where it goes into the yellow, and then it goes into white hot heat. And this is what I believe I saw when it flashed yellow white. That is right toward the top end of the implosion scale. And as you know, Brown's gas or hydroxy, it won't heat water, and yet it will vaporize most materials. And so it's actually past the white point, where it's actually past the melting point of all materials, and where it's actually vaporizing the material itself. And you don't want to get that high, but if you can bring the implosion rate of the vortex flame, say from the 60% level where it's now, to about maybe 80–90% vortex, and that might be enough to convert, as the superheated steam is coming into the Joe pipe, where it's converted into the hydrogen state by the metal of the Joe pipe. You're going to get a partial conversion, because not all the steam is going to be in contact with the metal, right? Unless you make a specialized filter where you actually pack it with iron filings or something like that. Then all the steam would be converted into hydrogen. And but anyway, you should get this very high reaction, and the propane is still running. You're still producing the using propane as your primary fuel, and you're testing to see if adding superheated steam converted into hydrogen, to see what it's going to do basically, because that's the next step that needs to be taken. And once you measure the results, you get a visual of actually what's going to happen, and this gives you the information to perfect what needs to be perfected, and to continue with the process of perfecting the overall operation of things. And but from what I've observed in the past, where there was one time where I added a little bit of a very small, minute amount of hydrogen when I was in Port Alberta into the level 3 flame, right into the blue of the flame, and it actually went from a blue into white, just like you'll see a blue fire with streaks of orange. It went from blue into producing streaks of white. And this is what I envision when steam is added, or superheated steam is added and conformed or converted into hydrogen, that you're going to see this. And this should increase the spin or the vortexing of the level 3 flame, because it is an implosion flame, and the fire is not going, it's not linear, it is spinning, right? And vortex does have strange effects. Any vortex experiments that I've seen always generates things outside of the conventional thought of science, right? And you know, Schoberger, there's many people out there that built many things based on vortex energy. And anyway, the increased velocity, and this is just my theory now, the increased velocity of the spinning of the fire, that now is at a very hot temperature, much hotter than straight propane, that is spinning fast enough to where it will actually phase change the matter itself, where fire burning in the third state of matter will cross over the line into the fourth state of matter. So now you're generating energy that's in the fourth state, just like a plasma torch. That's not a regular flame. That is a you know, that plasma is tens of thousands of degrees hot. You know, around 30,000 degrees for you know, a top of the line plasma torch, which is going to cut through anything. It doesn't matter what it is, it's going to cut through it. And I can see these kind of temperatures being developed by the Joe pipe, and with the increased energy of the spin, the exhaust is going to be spinning incredibly fast. You might go from a very low spin, like a fan turned on low, to where you have a fan turned on high, and you go from here way up to here, right? And the spin itself, the vortexing itself, it should actually exceed the speed of sound. So now you got a wind tunnel effect, a spinning effect, where the velocity of the exhaust from the level 3 process is spinning at such a rate that it's keeping the intense heats within the core. That's the 8-minute warning. And so you're reaching temperatures of the sun, but the vortexing of the exhaust is actually keeping everything from going into meltdown. So now you're just to end this first part or second part, that the core temperatures can be as hot as the surface of the sun or hotter, you know, around 5,000 degrees plus, and the pipe's not melting. And this would bring up the exhaust temperatures where there's no flame outside the pipe, where the exhaust temperatures could be 3,000 and 4,000 degrees. Just imagine what you can do with a heat gun of this magnitude, and especially if you can bring it to the point where you can produce the steam, and where the steam is made into superheated steam and converted into hydrogen because of the iron catalyst of the Joe pipe. If you can bring it to that point where the Joe pipe is literally running out its own steam, you would have the dominant energy source of the world that would make everything else second place. Okay, second part coming up.